How we doing, everybody?
Channel switched. User joined your channel.
That's annoying.
User left your channel. Switched.
Arma's not responding. I guess we'll fix that, eh? Hey, Abel. Hook me up to a Bluetooth speaker. How's it coming through now? My boom was up higher, so that's probably why. Gotcha. Game's loading. I ended up like it timed out on me or something. All right. Hey, success. We're loading. You're getting a honorable mention in the ceremony table for your donation. I think we honored it last month, but well, because we're changing up some things on how we're doing donating. 6 this time. Oh. See my weapon. Howdy.
How's it going, Major?
Not too bad.
Have we done a ceremony on this map before? On this base? Oh,
I think so.
okay. So I was just looking at the layout and I was just wondering where I was like. Like we
Gotta
didn't
be
say
here
that,
to
didn't we?
know,
I
huh?
didn't know. Didn't know there was a perfect position, huh?
Ah, crap. My helmet. Make sure you have an ACH on, since we are in a combat area. Where are you at, ACH? Wait, we might have never had this one.
What was that vest you're using?
The Mar Cirrus Light MC.
Oh, R-S-E-R? Is it S-E-R?
MARCIRAF.
Is it light?
Yep. I like it because it puts my weapon on my chest like I had when I was in.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Because anytime, well, this was my vest that when we did convoy security, because I needed my at least something close next to me
Yes.
versus on my side leg, like when we were dismounted patrol.
I've never.
Dr. Jones.
So does Winters.
Man, good job, Drake. I'm proud of you.
Man down.
Just taking this road today.
Abel, you hear me still just fine?
For some reason there are 3 squads on the other side.
I'll make sure everyone gets it.
Oh my god, the fuck
Big man.
He's behind us. Oh no. Hey Greg.
I didn't get the press vest, well.
Oh. He said.
This is by hill and I'll stand on it.
Hmm?
Are you behind me? Get in line.
Shouldn't the fourth squad be...
I'm trying to
the
fucking
left?
find it, but it's just not appearing.
Should we? I don't even know.
The fourth squad should
Lock
be
it
to
up.
the left.
Yeah, let's even this formation out.
Actually, that just like doesn't make it any better.
Alright, does this helmet work?
Yeah, that's fine.
Do I keep it on?
That's fine.
Major LaFlash, Alpha Company is all present and accounted for, sir.
Cool. Post. All right. Welcome to September, ladies and gentlemen. We'll kind of recap August a little bit here. A lot of combat operations happened in the month of August. I believe three or four, including one airborne operation last weekend. To where, I mean, anytime we get to do something out of the ordinary, like jump out of a perfectly good airplane, I think that's pretty fucking hooah, and I love doing it. You know, we don't have airborne missions or operations very often. In fact, at best, once. I think 1 year we had 2 in a year. So, I mean, it's something that we train for, but something that's doesn't happen consistently for us, as we are a infantry, light infantry-based unit. Being 11 Bravos, obviously we can be airborne qualified, so we will be handing out some jump stars later tonight or later today. We have a couple notes to kick off on. Let's see. FIG is hosting a new course that has been developed. Actually, it was 100% requested by our lower enlisted, by our squad leaders, fire team leaders, that we improvise, or that we employ, I guess, a new driver and operator course, so a driving course held by Sergeant First Class Brock and FIG. That course is going to be taking place September 11th here, next Saturday. It's next Saturday or Sunday? Saturday. And I mean, it's an easy course to, I shouldn't say an easy course, I haven't taken it yet, I look forward to it, but it's a course that'll help us with our convoy operations. We do a lot of those, so to get training on it, you know, the proper call outs, you know, what vehicles are supposed to be calling out their turns, our first vehicle, what's their responsibility, our last vehicle, what's their responsibility, what's a herringbone look like, Coming into the unit, a lot of us don't know that off bat unless you actually served in the military and understand convoy operations. So it's kind of hard to, learn it through doing, I guess you can say. Let's get that information out front. It's good for every soldier in the unit to take this course, to get qualified on it. Just for the sheer fact you never know when you're going to be the driver, and each position in that Vic has a different responsibility. So to know that, and each other's responsibilities inside that vehicle are extremely important to our success while providing convoy operations. So September 25th, FIG is hosting an airborne school. If you haven't taken our version of airborne school, I highly suggest you do it. We do alternate between going to our sister unit, the 173rd, as well as our own for airborne. I absolutely love ours, just for the fact that we get to jump out of towers. It's the real deal. You have ground week, well, ground hour, tower hour, and then actually our actual jumps, our live jumps. So looking forward to seeing how many we get signed up for that. Those that aren't, one of the requirements for that is land navigation, so get after that. I'm not sure when the next one is. I think we just had one yesterday? Or is that coming up?
We have land nav coming up in just over a week, sir.
Gotcha. So I didn't have that one wrote down. So land nav, that's a requirement for a lot of our skill badge courses. So get after that one. I think it's next Friday, if I recall. And then some exciting news coming out of COE. So effective today, probably right after ceremony or sometime today, you will see a new look to our homepage. So thirdinf.us, you will see a new look coming out. I won't spoil anything, but it's good to keep ourselves present, and what's another good word? Relevant. Keep ourselves relevant in the world of, we get a lot of traffic on our website, not only by ourselves, our soldiers, but we have potential recruits coming. We have returnees, those that have, been in our group before and they just check up on us every so often. We have competitors come check us out. We get our website ripped off a lot. If you go and look at a lot of what our, I call them competitors, but other units out there in the ARMA world that are trying to do what we do for the extended period of time that we've had, you tend to find a lot of units borrow some content from our website. I find that as an all-time flattery thing, that they come to us to look at our website to see what we do and try to model that for themselves. That's flattery to me. It's frustrating that we put in the work and they just rip it off, but there's really nothing we can do about that. So I think of the positive side of things, that if they want to do that, I think of a lot like our documentation page or our award and promotion area. You see the wording on some others' websites and it's identical, copy and paste. To me, that's flattery. That's, outstanding. We're helping another unit. If they think that's what's important for their unit to survive and keep running for the extent we have, then by all means, go ahead. But it really comes down to that leadership side of things, and that's usually where a lot of that struggles happen for other units. So in the month of August, we've had a very rough month. I've talked to a few of you, lower enlisted wise. I've talked to obviously our command staff team. It's been a hot topic and a passionate topic for us all. Is the status of recruitment, retention. Statistically, August and January and May are our hardest months, statistically speaking, for recruiting and retention. We have a lot of going back to school here in August. So a lot of LOAs. If you haven't looked, our LOA list is quite long, getting bigger, whether that's school or work. getting out of the summer funk for most of us in the northern hemisphere. So it's a stressful time, but then also one that's kind of calculated. So talking over, number-wise, I mean, it's nothing spectacular. We've been putting a lot of effort in on recruiting and retention, myself included, just trying to get our name out there some more, but then be more aggressive on going after recruits, not just posting our messages and hoping they stop by our website. You look at what I call our competitors again, right? Our other units out there, they're aggressive. They go out and talk to people, say, hey, look at the looking for a clan, looking for a group areas on all our pages that we go to, Steam, Reddit, Arma Discord, Facebook. We've gotten quite a few off of just the Arma 3 Milsim Facebook group page. So just going out there and finding those potential recruits and then talking them in. I'm one to always say every soldier is a recruiter. It's our RRO's job to get them in and processed in and understand our policies and hand them off to our squads. But everybody's a recruiter. With that, it was kind of mixed reviews a little bit in C-Staff, but coming up with a competition of some sort to inspire and motivate everybody to recruit was a raffle taking place. I'll have to work out the details a little bit more, but for the month of September here, I'm thinking along the lines of what to give away, whether that's a Steam game, some merch, things like that, some third ID merchandise, but a raffle going on for every the way to get entered into this said raffle would be for every recruit you bring in that has to have your name on their application that says who recruited you. Your name has to be on it, on that application. If they did miss it, please contact that recruiter and verify that they know, and we can edit that app and make sure your name's on there. Obviously, a new civilian recruiting, they may not remember your name, or if you recruit them with your gamer tag name, nobody's going to know that you're private or specialist so and so, and your gamer tag is not even close to your last name, so they may not know. But each person that has your name on that application, that you're the one that recruited them, will put you in for one, ideally, ticket for a raffle for the prize that will be given off. I think this will, we've done this in the past. It's been a couple years since we've done it, but I know Major Cantu was a big focus on this. He did extremely well with the organization of it, so I'll definitely be contacting him and figuring that side out. But I would like to extend that out to everybody. The recruitment drive, it only benefits us all. We get more soldiers in. We're getting pretty, what I would say, top heavy. Those that have been here a while. They're starting to sustain some rank, and specialists and corporals and sergeants. Well, those positions are going to be capped if we don't grow, right? I've always been one to say I'd rather have quality over quantity. At some point, though, when our quality is so high of the soldiers that we have, like everybody here today, we're going to need some, fresh blood coming in as well. So that's out there. Challenge everybody. Starting today through September 30th will be kind of the deadlines of getting out there, recruit. Have some people put your names on the apps. RRO, I'm calling you out. Let's make sure we're processing, contacting. If those apps come in, let's get after them. Let's contact them, bring them in. Not all apps will be viable. Remember our rules as well, our requirements for recruitment, 15 and up. Obviously have to have the game. As when you're out there recruiting people, make sure they are available Saturdays and Sundays at 1500 EST. Those are pretty important things. We get a lot of apps in. Make sure they're not in another Arma clan, Arma group. We need to be smart when we're recruiting. So I bring that up. Let's see what else I got. I'll get into some billet moves here at the end of ceremony. We do have one anniversary for the month of September. It's currently Specialist Perez, September 17th. He'll be hitting his 1-year anniversary. He's currently in our reserves element and coming out soon back into the squads, but he hits his 1 year. I'll be in contact with him to get his address and send him his 1-year anniversary gift. We still send those out monthly. Last month we got to hit up Unger and Poltrack for their anniversary gift, which will be awarding a medal to both of them today for hitting their 1 year or 12 months time in service with a deployment. We'd like to also recognize and welcome back Escabella, Mays, Fanning, C. McMahon, Ivan, Trim, Fork, Hunter, Adams, and Mullins were all inductees in the month of August. So though it was a lighter month in recruitment, we still brought in, what is that? About 11, 12 soldiers, which is on trend with where prior years have been for August recruitment. But, you know, it's really just getting after it the best we can. So let's welcome those new soldiers in. And without further ado, we'll kind of jump into the ribbons and promotions, awards and promotions this month. So first off, I'd like to call up Iricola, Vandal, Kidon, Winters, Post. All right, Buffus. All right, so I'd like to recognize these soldiers for donating in the month of August. Recruitment might have been a little light, but I can tell you donations were not. A big thank you to these 4 soldiers I called out, as well as retired Abel, Staff Sergeant Abel, who's on talking on stream with me today. You know, Abel, I believe we recognized a little bit last month for his donation as it came in the day of ceremony or near ceremony day. But Ericola is being awarded the Military Outstanding Volunteer Service Medal with V device for donating $100 or more in the calendar month. So his is with a V device. We have Vandal with $70 or $69.69, and then Kidden with $60, and then Winters just came in today with $50. So in total, we're at about $380 for the month of August, which is outstanding. Adding to our unit fund helps us obviously financially. It supplies things like our servers, AWS servers that we have, our website licenses, as well as it lets us be able to do things like that recruitment drive. You know, really puts a lot of money towards our anniversary gifts as well. So soldiers like this is the reason we stay afloat financially. And then obviously being soldiers that donate, obviously they have a sense of pride and a sense of leadership in this unit for putting their, for the most part, putting their cash where their, you know, mouse is, right? I just made that up, but big thank you, big congratulations, and hua. Oh, cool. Alright, Buffface. I gotta coin that term. Fall back in, soldiers. Thank you. Alright, next up, go ahead, get me Drake, Skinar, Shade, Holmes, Kidden, Perez, Pearson, Schneider, Reynolds, and Paz. Post. Alright, Buffface. Alright. So this is actually a pretty big list of people, and most are here, which is outstanding. These soldiers are hereby being awarded the Good Conduct Medal. Those that are new, Good Conduct Medal is awarded for 3 months of continuous good service. So meaning no AWOL lapses, They TPR when they need to. You know, they are, you know, all over their tasks that they have. I mean, there's no disciplinary action. There's nothing bad inside those 3 months. So a big congratulations. I mean, this is something that gets handed out every 3 months. So for a year, you can max this award out very quickly and being able to go. So, all right, about face.
What?
All right, fall back in. Hey, thanks, guys. All right, next up, go ahead and get me Trim and Tucci. Post.
We're not this.
Buffet, Staff Sergeant. All right, so these two soldiers are hereby being awarded the National Defense Service Medal. So the National Defense Service Medal is awarded to soldiers and service members of their nation. So really, being able to serve your nation, not necessarily the U.S. military. In this case, we have Staff Sergeant Tucci here, which finally applied for this National Defense Service Medal after 2 years of being in, 2 or 3. But for Staff Sergeant here, he's been in the Canadian Reserves, which qualifies for the National Defense Service Medal. We have Private Trim, which just joined us in the month of August, who's currently active duty Navy. So those that are, you know, currently serving or have served in your nation, please. I mean, we want to honor you, want to show respect to you. You know, it takes a lot of bravery and courage to sign that paperwork. All right, sign on the dotted line. That's payable up to your life. So big thank you for serving your nation, and thank you for being with us and providing your talents. So, hua.
What?
Ooh.
What?
All right, Buffface. Thanks again.
Thank you, Major.
Fall back in. All right, next up, go ahead and get me Brock and Garcia. Post. All right, Buffface. All right. So a big part of our recruitment is clans list, right? We've been part of them for years. You know, we started issuing the humanitarian service medal to soldiers that have voted 2 times a day for 30 days for 60 total votes for quite a while now. Both these gentlemen have been up here multiple times. So again, these soldiers are hereby being awarded the humanitarian service medal for 60 monthly votes on clan lists, getting us up on the top end of that page. You know, consistently we're in the top 5. You know, and obviously the higher we are, the more exposure we get. We do pay to be on the first page, so it is a cost to be there, and it's on us to then get ourselves higher in that clan list voting. You know, we think it's a very important thing to be a part of and be on there, to where we even extended it to certain ranks, you know, to lower enlisted. You know, as NCO, it's a given. You need to be doing that. As a leader, you need to be doing that, at least to not to the extent of 60 votes or 30 votes a day, or 30 votes a month, but at least be up in those teens. You know, showing an effort that, hey, this is important. For lower enlisted, private second classes, PFCs, there are some numbers that you have to hit to qualify for promotion to even to get there. I know we had some holdups last month and this month actually, and you were contacted, but it's something that's quite important and quite easy. You're able to do it on your PC, and you're able to do it on your mobile or laptop or anything like that. You know, it just needs two separate devices, not on the same Wi-Fi network though. I did learn that myself. So one might have to be your mobile data, the other one's your PC, or vice versa, or something like that. So keep that in mind when you're voting. You're able to check out how many votes you have on your profile, on your forms profile, not your PersComms profile. It'll tell you on the little left side bottom ish area. How many votes you're at for the last 30 days. So it's a rolling calendar. But a big thank you to these two who are constantly setting the example for all of us, including myself, to try to get there. One of these months I will be there, but so far I've struck out every single month. So it's a pain. But big thank you. All right, Buffets. Congrats again, gentlemen. Keep doing what you're doing. Fall back in. All right. Next up, I will take McMahon Corporal type and Vandal Corporal. Post. Anybody Corporal, both McMahon and Vandal here? There we go. So, I thought I saw McMahon in here.
I was like, wait, me?
Corporal type, yep. Now we have a private, so you gotta be Corporal type. Alright, Bellface. Alright. Both corporals here are hereby being awarded the Armed Forces Service Medal for service in a specific DMOS, both inside FIG for this ceremony, for the prior 6 months. So both serve as drill instructors, started off as range safety officers, and have served within FIG honorably, are a very big part of FIG. I see them run courses, help instruct courses, co-instruct courses, and it's very vital to our success, our soldiers like this. The ability to stay inside a DMOS for that extended period of time and be, so important to it and its success. So I'm glad to honor you all and and award you the Armed Forces Service Medal. So, congratulations. Bellface. Got tongue-tied there quick. Fall back in. Thanks, Corporal. Alright. Next up, I will take Poltrack and Unger post.
I got excused.
Copy, and I think Poltrack also. Alright. As I mentioned earlier, in the month of August, we celebrated these two soldiers with their anniversaries. Poltrack, August 8th, and Unger, August 18th. Hit their 1-year time in service in this tour with us. Both, I believe Poltrack has already received his gift. I don't think Unger has got his in the mail yet. So they got awarded, or they got, I guess, their anniversary gift was called out. This is them being awarded the Armed Forces Expeditionary Medal. This is for 12 months, so 365 days of continuous service within our unit while with a deployment. So that's the key part. We can't be stateside for an entire year and this be awarded. It's the Expeditionary Medal, so that's the requirement for it. Generally, it's really a time in service style ribbon and a medal. As we do deploy, it's very rare that we do not have a deployment within a year. We've had it before, but this is something that in the past couple years we've always been deployed to something. So a big hoo to these two. All right. Next up, if I can get Ivanov and Hodgins post. There you go. Alright. Who do I got in front of me? Alright, Bufface. Alright. These two soldiers here are hereby being promoted to the grade and rank of Private First Class, E3. So this is really their first promotion outside a training setting. They achieved Private Second Class in the month of August, or July potentially, and are now qualified by time and service to hit that next promotion, as well as those votes I told you about earlier. Starting your career off, getting through the lower enlisted can be intimidating at times, can be overwhelming at times. Just thinking, oh boy, I'm a private second class, I'm a PFC, I got a long ways to go. But believe it or not, Private, every single soldier in front of you right now had to do it. Every single one of us. And look at where they're at now. It's really all dedication, motivation, and your own inspiration. So, if you want to be that lieutenant that's standing directly in front of you, well, that's an option. Push for it. Let's go. So let's make it happen and see if I'll be calling you lieutenant here within the next year. So, about face. Congratulations. Think you can make it? Perfect. All right, fall back in. Congrats.
Wow.
All right. So next up, go ahead, get me Sergeant Kihiri, post.
Excused as well.
Excused? All right. So, Sergeant Kahiri is hereby being awarded the Army Commendation Medal, the ARCOM with Valor, so with V device. Sergeant Kahiri was a staple pillar in the chaos of Mission David's task. In the multiple times his squad leader was incapacitated, he was quick to take charge and make sure that the numerous pieces of heavy enemy equipment did not wipe us out. Every time his squad leader, sent him out to a position or objective, he either ran into superior enemy force or an entrenched piece of armor and prevailed, keeping his squad alive. Kahiri showed outstanding leadership, grit, and determination during this mission. So being a fire team leader, being somebody that leads from the front, knows how to take command when shit goes awry, which in every one of our combat operations and even sometimes our presence patrols, I could tell you your plan is only as good as, it drawn up. Once you actually get out there and get punched in the mouth, everything changes. So it's good to have soldiers like Sergeant Kahiri here, our NCOs that are able to roll with the punches and adjust, fire and maneuver. So a big hoo to him. Cool. All right, next up, if I can get Lambert, Tucci, and Kidon, post. All right, about face. All right, these three soldiers are hereby being awarded a Joint Service Achievement Medal, the JSAM. The JSAM is only awarded for DMOS achievement, so excellence inside one of our admin jobs. So we have Lieutenant Lambert for public affairs, for sustained dedication in a role as a journalist. Often takes articles of his own accord and completes them quickly within PAO. We have Staff Sergeant Tucci, who's actually our BMO NCYC for excellence in service as BMO. NCYC in charge, non-commissioned officer in charge. Staff Sergeant Tucci is always ensuring that data, record entries, and information is being double-checked and verified in the correct order to ensure the DMOS maintains a smooth upload of information into our personnel files. To me, an extremely important job and task for anybody to do is that one right there. And then Specialist Kidon for BMO as a roster maintenance specialist. Coming into the role of roster maintenance specialist not too long ago, and quickly became a great addition to the team. He's always one to complete his work quickly, on time, and never lets a request go untouched. So kind of the execution side of it was vital. To have our roster pages updated correctly. There is some automation coming with the combat side of things, but there's a lot of record keeping that needs to be done on the back side. So to be able to have that not get overlooked, stuff falling through the cracks. I mean, it hurts us all when that happens, so it's good to have two soldiers like this. Public affairs, obviously, the importance there is our image, what we can produce in terms of stories. I mean, there's constant news stories of real-world events, anniversary events coming up, and then obviously our in-game stuff, our completion of skill classes, combat courses, things like that, to be able to recognize and talk to those soldiers and see what those soldiers did. So a big hoo to these three. Hoo.
What?
Alright, Ballface. Alright, cool. Congratulations, fall back in. Alright. Alright, next up, go ahead and get me Escabella and Reed. Post. If they're here. Oh, I see some movement. Alright. Oh, come up here. A little further. You're standing next to the lieutenant. And then center yourself on me. There you go. Alright. Ballface. Go ahead, spin around. Oh, there you go. Alright, these two soldiers, Escabella and Reed, are hereby being awarded their Combat Infantry Badge Stage 2. The Stage 2 means that they have achieved 2 combat missions in 2 separate operations. So in this case, both have been with us for an extended period of time, or a re-enlistment, because it qualifies that as well. So hitting Stage 2, the next stage, Stage 3, so the next operation, we award a lot of things with that stage, not only the CIB-3, but then our combat patch, as well as a global war on terrorism. So one more to go. Congratulations on your second, though. Ooh. Face. Alright, fall back in. Alright, so next up, go ahead, get me Fork Post. If he's present.
He's absent, sir.
Okay. Private Fork, brand new to the unit, attached to our 3 cab aviation, is hereby being awarded his Combat Action Badge for achieving his first combat, achieving his first in-game combat as a member of a non-infantry, a non-11 Bravo series or 11 series soldier. The cab combat action is awarded to our crew chiefs, and really outside anything of 11 Bravo or 11 series. So a big hoo to him.
Cool.
All right, next up then I will take Klein if he's present.
On my way. Sorry.
No worries.
Grandpa.
Alright, Ballface. Alright, Warrant Officer Klein here is hereby being awarded his U.S. Army Aviator Wings, going through re-enlisting with us a month ago. He was assigned into our 3 cab, currently completing and going through our Warrant Officer School, our flight school with the Lieutenant Cruz. I mean, obviously aviators are extremely important to our success on the ground, not only just transport, because sometimes these maps are as big as the one we're in currently right now, and I mean, nobody wants to be driving for the first 45 minutes of our gameplay. But then also providing CAS, providing surveillance, and then anything resupply. So hitting your step of aviator wings is a big milestone. So congratulations. And with that, since I have you here, for completing your course of Warrant Officer course, you are hereby being promoted to Warrant Officer 1 for completion of Aviation School. All right, congratulations. About face. Congrats, Warrant Officer. You're no longer a cadet. All right, fall back in. All right, so next up, this is a little bigger of a list. Go ahead, get me Winters, Mwali, Pearsons, Kidon, Red, Paz, and Thomas. Post. Nice forming up. All right, about face. All right. So these soldiers that I just called are hereby being awarded the Army Achievement Medal. So each has a citation to be read. So starting off with Winters, with C device for combat. Firstly, Specialist Winters shows great leadership capabilities during missions, not being afraid to take charge when needed. As the squad medic, he has more experience than soldiers in the fire team and offers his help leading the squad when some or all of our leadership is down. He is really good at organizing a CCP. He has shown a great commitment when it came to collecting casualties and making sure that no members of our squad perish or have died. We have Specialist Mwali. Specialist Mwali continues to separate himself from his peers on and off the battlefield. He continues to care and support every member of the squad, in-game and out. He is always around and eager to help with anything that comes up in-game or in real life. His personality and antics keep everybody entertained, but he also has the ability to keep everybody focused on mission and does everything he can to get the job done. When the time comes, he places the mission first and executes. Specialist Pearson is an invaluable asset to our squad, consistently being a welcoming and supportive influence to all members. He constantly shows his ability to step up and take command and keep his cool even in the most intense situations. This is best shown with his willingness to take the role of acting fire team leader, with Corporal Lang being on LOA, and providing said duties with the standard we expect of all fire team leaders. We have Specialist Kidon, is never hesitant to take over his fire team leader, or take over for his fire team leader when the situation arrives, and also never disappoints. Kidon has the potential to be a great leader someday, and for the reason I am recommending him for the AAM. PFC Red has always been an asset in-game and out. His personality not only boosts the morale of his squad, but his knowledge and experience continues to push the squad to higher echelons of training and tactical competence. In the field, he is a force to be reckoned with, never backing down from any situation, no matter what's thrown in front of us. Outside of missions, he keeps everybody in the squad together and encourages squad cohesion by playing different games or just chatting on TeamSpeak. PFC Paz. A consistent improvement and effective use of Spartan mortar. His dedication and focus will continue the success of our mortar systems for the future use in the unit. And then PFC Thomas is recommended for the AAM due to his hard work and dedication and recent improvements in the unit. Thomas stepped up when the opportunity was handed to him, and he took the role as a fire team leader and displayed outstanding leadership potential. That was a lot to read, but damn am I proud of it. I mean, these soldiers, if you read through or just heard what I said, all these are based around leadership. I mean, it goes down to lower enlisted PFCs, into our E4 Mafia and our our NCOs. But I mean, you can hear it. Some are already fire team leaders that just do a phenomenal job. leaders take care of their soldiers. I just read several statements of that. They take care of their soldiers. They're in charge of the unit morale, of their team's morale, of their cohesion, right? Their community together. Soldiers that, on the combat side of things, that are go-getters, that understand situational awareness and how to attack and how to lead from the front, all the way down to just doing what the job is that you're assigned to do. Whether that's, in some cases, your job as a mortarman like PSE Paz. I mean, just doing your job in the heat of battle will get you recognized. I mean, being there, being ready to do what you're here to do. And many of you, that's lead. So a big congratulations, and damn, I'm proud of reading those. So hooah. All right, Buffets. Congrats, soldiers. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
All right, fall back in.
Thanks, sir.
All right, next up, if I can get Cruz and Brock post. All right, Buffets. All right, these two gentlemen in front of you are hereby being awarded the Joint Service Commendation Medal. So this is one step up from the JSAM. So I'll read their citations for Lieutenant Cruz, who's currently the CID, Officer in Charge, OIC. Sustained performance in managing our combat imaging DMOS and consistently striving to have requests completed as quick and organized time frame. Lieutenant Cruz is always hard-working within CID and finding new ways to come up with an easier methods of updating uniforms and creating new content. CID is vital. I mean, it's hand in hand with our public affairs. It's our image, right? A lot of people get drawn to our unit because of our uniforms, that they are by the AR670-1, our imaging, our banners, the stuff that we post on our recruitment ads. All that's produced through, our CID, and it's a skill set. You have to know how to use that Photoshop and a lot of parts of it, and it can be a pain sometimes. I struggle with Photoshop as well. I have it. It's for sure a very tedious program to be able to use and execute on. So a big hooah to not only the lieutenant here, but all our CID soldiers. We then have Sergeant Brock, who is our non-commissioned officer in charge of FIG, for outstanding and exceptional leadership, exceeding over 1 year now of serving as our NCYC of FIG. This soldier has recently developed even new courses, schools, and continue to push the standard of our FIG, from the ability of not only our new courses like our driver operator course that's coming up. That was his brainchild. He listened to the soldiers below and said, we need this course. He came to me, pitched it to me, and I agreed wholeheartedly, like, yes, let's get it going. And he's one that took off with that approval and produced a course within a week, not even, and tested it out, and we have our first course coming up here next weekend. Stuff like that, that's leadership. Both of these soldiers in front of you are extremely dedicated leaders, care about this unit as a whole, as the big picture, and care about the troops that are assigned to them like no others. So big hooah and congratulations. Hooah. All right, Buffets. All right, congrats, soldiers. Follow back in. All right. Next up, if I can get Ayers, Skits, Kihiri, Poltrak, Pendergast, Lang, Vandal, Garcia, Muali, Cooper, Pearson, and Fernandez. Post. Might have to make 2 ranks with this one. Oh, maybe not. We're good. All right, Buffface. All right, these soldiers, as I mentioned, we had our first combat operation for this operation, Silver Guardian, and are hereby awarding these soldiers their first combat star onto their jump wings. So they're already airborne qualified, jumping out of a perfectly good airplane in a combat environment. That's what this is, the first star added to those jump wings. So that's pretty straightforward. They hit the ground. I don't think anybody died on our jump. I mean, I know I had some broken legs, but that's about it. So besides, I think one person legged out and splatted on the ground, but that was Arma. We'll blame Arma on that one. But big hua, congratulations hitting that first star. It takes a long time to get up higher than that. As I said, we don't do jumps very often, at best once a year. As you can see, we have quite a few NCOs that have been in the unit for a year or more, and this is their first combat jump. So lower enlisted, take note. It'll be a little bit, but it'll happen. So stay in the straight and narrow. Hua. Buffface.
Well,
All right, fall back in. Congratulations. All right, next up, I will take Escabella. Post. All right, Buffface. So PFC Escabella, re-enlisted as we said in the month of August. With this combat jump, actually has participated prior in a combat jump in his prior tour with us. So he's hereby being awarded his second award, combat star. So he'll have 2 combat jumps or 2 stars on his jump wings. Again, I mean, it takes some time. In this case, this was a re-enlistment, and it takes a little bit of time. I mean, there's five jumps that go on your jump wings. And today we're awarding at least a soldier with each of them. So congratulations on your second. Huh? Buffface? Fall back in. All right. Next up, go ahead and get me Brock and Sam. Post. Alright, Buffface. Alright, so since Sam is not present, I'll be able to have this as a twofer. So in this case, both Sergeant First Class Brock and Sergeant Sam, long-standing soldiers in our unit for a year and a half, 2 years plus, have hit their third jump with us for this operation, or in their service with us during this operation. So they'll be awarded their third star on their jump wings. On top of that, Sergeant First Class Brock here served in a role that is a stressful one and takes a lot of coordination, but he served as our second bird jump master. With that, he's being awarded his senior parachutist badge as well for serving in an X amount of jumps and combat trainings as well. Or sorry, combat trainings is a 2-word. In a combat environment and a training environment, has served enough to receive his senior parachutist badge. So, hua.
What?
Buffface. Oh, and Sergeant Sam is present on the stream. So, congrats, Sergeant Sam. Fall back in.
He ain't gonna jump. No more.
All right. Next up, we will have Staff Sergeant Tucci and Sergeant Shade post. All right. Buffface. All right, so Staff Sergeant here is hereby being awarded his 4th jump. As I said, we're awarding one of every one, so it's pretty impressive to be able to award a 4th combat jump for at least 4 years worth of being in the unit in total for time in service. You know, it takes a lot. So to be able to be up here for this award is phenomenal. To be up there for the 3rd award is phenomenal. 2nd award is phenomenal. But a big hua to these 2 soldiers with Tucci and Shade for achieving that 4th jump. Hua.
Whoa.
All right, Buffface. All right, fall back in. All right, go ahead and get me Drake and Grig. Post. Alright, Buffface. Alright, being awarded their 5th and final combat jump. Jump star, I should say. Being awarded the 5th star, as I said, I mean, these 2 have years in the unit, total time in service, so they hit our operations just right. 5 combat jumps over at least 4 operations. There was one op that we had 2, spread out by about 6-7 months, so we, you know, to hit that, to get 5 ops, or 4 ops, 5 ops almost, is insane. These soldiers are combat veterans in our unit. Both hold, you know, our combat infantry badge stage 4s, hold our combat patches, obviously several of our Global War on Terrorism medals and Armed Forces medals for their service, but big hua to these 2. Congrats. Hua.
Whoa.
All right.
Airborne.
Ballface. Fall back in. Airborne. Alright. Next up, if I can get Reynolds. I'm going to slaughter this name. Solaire. Hodginson's. Ivanov. And McMahon private type. If any of them are present. Oh, we got somebody moving. Alright, Buffface. Alright, so these 5 soldiers that I called out, 2 in front of you, are hereby being awarded their 1st combat infantry badge. So they hit their first, you know, operational mission in the month of August with us. You know, being able to start off getting that CIB. I mean, it's a stepping stone. As I said, the CIB is only awarded once per operation, not mission. So it takes a long time to get up there into those 2nd, 3rd, and 4th stages. But to achieve it as a private, obviously, is a great feeling. You knock it out right away. Set yourself up for future operations. Hopefully being able to then, you know, get in there and get in for the next airborne school, set yourselves up ready to get that first combat star on your wings as many did before. But a big hua. Congratulations. Hua.
Wow.
All right, Buffface. Fall back in. All right. Make sure. Let's see. Go ahead. Get me Reynolds, Schneider, and Shalera. Post. All right. Ballface. So these 3 soldiers, we have 1 in front of us today, are hereby being promoted to the grade and rank of E4 specialist, entering that E4 mafia. To qualify for this, not only is it those clan list votes, as we mentioned earlier, but as well as being a part of a DMOS, serving in an admin side of our job, as we hit into that NCO, or, you know, no longer a lower enlisted, more or less junior enlisted position to get into specialist is serving in a DMOS, being a part of an admin group, a part of our unit. We want to make sure the burden isn't just on the select few that choose, but that it's a part of all of us to serve within one of our many DMOSs to help the flow and how smooth the unit can run with great soldiers like you. So congratulations on entering the E4 Mafia. Ooh. Ballface. Congratulations. Alright, fall back in. Alright, next up, go ahead and get me Bodwin and Stain post. Alright, Ballface. Alright, these two aviators are hereby being awarded the Air Medal with V-Device. So with Valor, the Air Medal is awarded to these two soldiers for during Operation Mission Flaming Canvas that took place 29th August 2001. Both Chief Bodwin and Chief Stain each piloted a C-130 during a night operation with increased visible difficulty. Times 2 C-130s took off from FOB Dr. Jones, which is currently where we're at, on an improvised runway that was not quite long enough for normal operations with a C-130. Once the pair drop was complete of our airborne troopers, both C-130s were flown and successfully landed back at said airfield with no damage to equipment or personnel. We were all concerned with the runway coming out of FOB Jones here, with whether or not it was long enough, to be able to get our airspeed up high enough to be able to rotate at the end of the runway and just clear some barriers. Was no small feat to have our two skilled pilots like we do here. I think the most impressive thing is the landing of said aircraft back on this runway. I would have loved to have been able to see that, as I dropped with the troops, so I wasn't able to view that, but I was up in Zeus watching the takeoff, and you can catch it on the video that was posted last week. But it was a little intimidating to see, like, if we were going to make that at the end. So a big hood to these two soldiers for great piloting and a hell of a skill set that they have. So, all right, Ballface. Thanks for keeping us alive. Fall back in. Next up, Corporal Lang, post. If present. Alright, Ballface. Alright, the Corporal here is hereby being awarded this medal for wounds received and military merit during Operation Silver Guardian Mission David's Task. Leading 2nd Squad as 2IC, Corporal Lang was severely and seriously wounded by a roadside ambush during movement to the 2nd GSIM Armored Column southeast of the Gruppogrop, however you say the city's name. In spite of a mass casualty incident, Corporal Lang's preparation and leadership of Ghost Squad sustained them through the mission. Although Lang was unconscious, Ghost 3IC took command and directed further tasking until the Corporal was back on station. So with this, the Corporal is hereby being awarded the Purple Heart, what we call the enemy's marksmanship badge. To be awarded the Purple Heart is a big thing. Being able to, you have to be a leader. You have to be in that leadership position to even qualify, but you have to see the sustained, improvement of your team, whether you're there or not. In this case, as a 2IC and leading Ghost Squad during several missions, I mean, the corporal has really proven that combat leadership, and that, you know, he has a big ass that gets blown up every once in a while. So, big hua, congratulations. Bowface. Honky tonk, badonky donk. Let's go.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, you bet. Fall back in. Okay. Next up, go ahead and get me skits post. Alright. Bowface. Alright, Sergeant Skits here is hereby being promoted to the grade and rank of E6 Staff Sergeant. Woo! Alright, so with Staff Sergeant here, he completed his not only time in service, he holds the billet of a squad leader, which is one of the biggest requirements, as well as completion and passing of our promotion board. One thing that Staff Sergeant Skits here has learned very quickly, the higher you go in rank, the harder those boards can be. He can sustain to that, and or I should say contest to that, as it did take a time or two, but it's showing how much what I was impressed with. We all get our face punched in once in a while from a board question, but reading over how well he did on that next board, how prepared he was to answer those questions, is quite an achievement and quite impressive. To be able to blow that out of the water on his second time through, a big hua. Congratulations, and you know you're setting yourself up for success, and you've been leading your squad for quite some time now, and it's very impressive what you do with our third squad, as well as implementing our mortar teams, working hand in hand with your excellent fire team leaders. You know, you're doing extremely well. On top of that, you're also our PAO NCYC, so you hold a lot of hats in our unit, and you know we want to recognize that and say congratulations, thank you, and hua on the E6. Hua.
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 All right, Bowface.
Hua.
Congrats, Staff Sergeant.
Thank you, sir.
All right, fall back in. All right. So we have the billet changes that I want to talk about. Just want to make sure I didn't miss anything. Alright, everything has a check box next to it. Alright, so billet changes, as I said, we'll be talking about. With said billet changes, we have quite a few moving pieces here. So S2 has been on the hunt for another Zeus soldier. So in this case, the way that our S2 was developed, we currently have our NCOIC of Sergeant Pendergast. We have Staff Sergeant Skanar serving as our company grade readiness NCO, which in layman terms is our Zeus at company level. And though as complex as our missions have been getting in our unit, you know, we found it very important to fill up another role. This sets us up for, you know, Staff Sergeant Skanar being able to TPR for a weekend. His dedication is unparalleled to many in our unit. But then also setting himself up to have more role playing, which we all enjoy those scenarios whenever we get there and run into, you know, some civilian that's selling us bananas or, you know, potentially is going to blow us up. Funny thing is, we don't know which ones we're going to get. But being able to identify, we went through and interviewed a good chunk of soldiers. And, you know, obviously the skill set alone of being a Zeus, having the mandatory hours that we were looking for in a Zeus, I was very impressed that we had soldiers qualified to even apply. But then also, you know, the longevity and the ability to, you know, get the job done. You know, the experience within their current role played a part of it as well. So with that, I'd like to call up and recognize Staff Sergeant Grigg Post. while he's posting, Staff Sergeant is hereby being promoted into our company level, or I mean our platoon level readiness NCO slot. All right, about face. So with that, we have him moving effective, I think, today, correct, Lieutenant Drake?
Monday.
Monday. Okay, so after today's operations, all right, Monday, he'll be officially moved into the platoon readiness NCO, to where he'll assist with Sergeant First Class Brock, Lieutenant Drake, and the platoon HQ, as well as be the right-hand man to Sergeant Pendergast and Staff Sergeant Skinar, for really the workhorses behind all our missions, everything that we do in our operations. But being able to, be a part of that is huge, and I look forward to his continued development of his leadership. I mean, if you haven't known the Staff Sergeant, he was the fierce leader of a squad. He volunteered to go lead another squad, and do what he does and develop. So with that, with the exiting of one Staff Sergeant Grigg from First Squad, I would like to call up Sergeant Kihiri, who is moving in to Scorpion's First Squad leader. So
and also excused.
He's excused. Okay, well, he's failed as a squad leader. Next up, all right, who's the next fighter? No, I'm joking. So Sergeant Kahiri is hereby being promoted effective tomorrow to Scorpion's squad leader. Again, when we call upon, there's been several times where we've had a combat patrol or a presence patrol to where we utilize Staff Sergeant Grigg's expertise up in the company or the platoon level already, filling in as a platoon sergeant, even leading the platoon at times, to where that gave Sergeant Kahiri a lot of time in as that acting squad leader, and he's done a phenomenal job. Being able to promote within is phenomenal and outstanding. It shows the dedication and leadership from both soldiers being promoted today for that. So big hooah to that. Hooah. All right. About face, Staff Sergeant. Staff Sergeant. About face. There you go. All right. Fall back in. All right. With that, I will take Corporal Lang post. All right, Buffface. So we had a LOA happen here with Sergeant Ayers. With that, he's currently being deployed by the U.S. military, spawning a replacement need, much like what I put into, or much what we just read in the Corporal's Purple Heart recommendation. And he leads from the front, and for the most part, he's the one ready to take the role of squad leader of Ghosts. So happy to promote him to squad leader. It's a stepping stone that I know he will take and run with. And with that, replacing both these soldiers, I didn't call up here, but replacing Sergeant Kihiri as a fire team leader is going to be Specialist Winters, who was up here earlier, donated in the month, shows extreme potential, and ready to lead. And then replacing Corporal Lang as a fire team leader, as he's going to squad leader, is Specialist Persons. That is going to be promoted from fire team member into fire team leader. Again, I think all five of these soldiers that we called out today have extreme leadership ability. And they take it and they run with it. The two that are being promoted into fire team leader slots for the first time have served in those slots as an interim or as an acting fire team leader. So soldiers that are looking to, what can I do to be a fire team leader? Right there's that's it. Your fire team leaders sooner or later are going to have to TPR. We all have to sooner or later. So there's going to be an opportunity. And if there's not, simply ask. There's nothing wrong with a fire team leader developing his replacement. We inspire that. We want that. Much like squad leaders, their sole purpose is to get their squad so good that we can promote the squad leader like we did with Staff Sergeant Grigg. and we have that leadership all the way down to replacement fire team leaders ready to go. That's a hell of a development. So a big congratulations to these 5 soldiers with their advancement. Oh. Face. Alright, fall back in. Alright, we ran a little late, so I apologize for that. We're 12 minutes past where I want, because, you know, Major has to talk. So I'll end this briefly. Let's get after it in the month of September, gentlemen, ladies and gents. I mean, we got September is a big month for us statistically. I mean, we get a lot of college kids back to school. They get bored, right? High school kids, our recruitment age is 15. Remember that? Remember the incentive and the recruitment drive that we'll be setting up for the month of September. PAO will post a little bit more about that midweek here, but we'll get it going, and let's have a successful September. We got combat operations today. We got 2 this month, I believe. So we got a lot going on for the month of September. So let's make it happen. That's all I have. Lieutenant Drake, post. All right, take charge, Mr. Shoops.
Thank you, Major. All right, gentlemen. I'm going to keep it brief too, since we don't have much time. Leader brief in 15 minutes. I don't think we're going to restart the server, so you're all just good to grab your kits and do all that. Just make sure we have all of our SOPs in order. CID requests, just hold off until your records are updated, but you can put those in already. And that's really it for me. Let's make September a great month, and let's try to get some growth in. Hooah, makers.
Hooah.
What?
Let's break it down. You are dismissed.
You guys can grab your kits and stuff. And we also need to go back to Iron Wall FOB.
Alright. Thanks for stopping in. I'm going to drop stream here for just a little bit, and then I'll be back up for the leader's brief. So if you're stopped in and said hi, I appreciate it. Sergeant Sam, Maze, Vin, thanks. We did have a follow in there, so I appreciate that follow as well. Abel, thanks for stopping in. Fulberg, thanks for stopping in. Appreciate it. I love being able to do this on my time. Yeah, thanks for stopping in for our September ceremony, but we'll see you in about 15-20 minutes. Thanks.